Welcome back to the channel USA Coins 69, where we dive deep into the stories behind some of the most fascinating coins ever minted. Today, we're shining the spotlight on a true classic, the United States Washington quarter dollar from 1971. Now, this might sound like just another quarter from the 1970s, but if you stick around and listen closely, you'll soon discover why this particular coin, especially with its mint mark, is something that can turn heads and open wallets in the collector's world. Let's start with the basics and set the stage for why the 1971 Washington quarter is so special. The Washington quarter design has been a staple of American currency since 1932. Created to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the quarter features a proud portrait of the first U.S. president on the obverse, and traditionally an eagle on the reverse. Over the years, this coin has been an everyday workhorse, jingling in pockets, paying for parking meters, and making change at the grocery store. But don't let its commonplace presence fool you. The 1971 Washington quarter comes from an era when the United States was undergoing substantial change, socially, politically, and economically. It was the dawn of a new decade, post-1960s upheaval, with a renewed push toward modernization and progress. The coins minted during this time encapsulate a fascinating blend of historical significance and numismatic intrigue. In 1971, the United States Mint was operating from several key locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint produced quarters with their distinct mint marks, P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. However, the Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark on quarters until 1980, so a 1971 quarter from Philadelphia will have no mint mark. The Denver and San Francisco quarters, on the other hand, proudly carry their D and S respectively. Now here's where things start to get interesting. Coins from this year are generally common, but there are some rare and valuable variants, especially when you begin to look closely at mint marks, errors, and condition. One notable area that collectors focus on for the 1971 quarter is the mint mark itself. The D and S mint marks are more than just letters, they're keys that unlock different value levels depending on rarity and condition. The San Francisco S quarters were often produced as proofs, designed for collectors with sharper strikes and shinier finishes. But even among these, some variations have emerged that make certain 1971 S quarters much more valuable than others. Additionally, a few rare minting errors from 1971 quarters add serious value. Errors like double dies, where parts of the date or lettering appear double due to a misaligned die, or off-center strikes, which occur when the coin is not perfectly aligned during the stamping process, create coins that collectors clamor for. And don't forget die cracks, which are raised lines or imperfections caused by damage to the die during the minting process. These tiny anomalies can turn a regular quarter into a sought-after rarity. Another fascinating variant is the clipped planchet error, where a portion of the coin's edge is missing because the metal blank was punched too close to the sheet's edge. This error creates a coin with a visibly incomplete shape, and in the case of the 1971 quarter, such examples are highly prized. Beyond mint marks and errors, the condition of the coin plays a pivotal role in determining value. In coin collecting, condition is king. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a flawless, perfect specimen. The vast majority of 1,971 quarters in circulation today show wear from decades of use. Scratches, dents, and faded details are common. However, if you come across a 1971 quarter that's in mint state condition, graded MS65 or above, you've found something exceptional. Imagine finding a 1971 Washington quarter with a crisp D mint mark, boasting sharp details and no signs of wear. This coin could already be worth significantly more than face value. Add to that the possibility of an error, and the value skyrockets. Some of the highest valued 1971 quarters come from the San Francisco Mint as proof coins, often graded PR65 or higher. Proof coins are struck with specially polished dies and planchets to produce a mirror-like finish, designed for collectors. While most proof quarters have some premium, certain rare varieties from 1971 are exceedingly scarce and highly sought after. Now, why do collectors pay so much attention to these coins? The answer lies in rarity and demand. Every coin tells a story, of the time it was minted, the history it has witnessed, and the care it has received. And in the case of the 1971 Washington quarter, some coins have emerged from circulation nearly perfect, with unique features that make them stand out. So, what about the coin's value in today's market? Most 1971 quarters might only be worth their face value or a small premium in uncirculated condition. But the rarest specimens, especially those with specific mint marks, exceptional grading, and verified errors, are in a league of their own. In recent years, auction results and private sales have demonstrated that certain 1971 Washington quarters can command astonishing prices. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these coins because of their scarcity, historical significance, and condition. And here comes the moment you've been waiting for. If you are lucky enough to own a 1971 Washington quarter with the right mint mark, pristine condition, and one of those rare minting errors, your coin could be valued at an extraordinary $120,000. Yes, you heard that right. $120,000 for a single quarter that many people still overlook. That's the magic of numismatics, transforming small pieces of metal into treasured artifacts with immense value. So next time you find a 1971 Washington quarter in your change, don't just toss it aside. Take a moment to inspect it carefully. Check for the mint mark, examine the details under a magnifying glass, and consider having it professionally graded. You never know, your coin might be one of those rare gems that commands a life-changing price. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of American coinage to explore one of the most intriguing pieces in the realm of numismatics, the United States Washington quarter dollar from 1972, complete with its mint mark details. At first glance, this quarter might seem like any ordinary coin, but those who know their history and numismatic nuances understand that the 1972 Washington quarter holds a special place in the collector's universe. And stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll discover how this seemingly humble quarter could be worth an astonishing $130,000. Let's start by setting the context. The Washington quarter, first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, is one of the most widely recognized and circulated coins in the United States. Featuring the iconic profile of our first president on the obverse, and traditionally an eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse, this quarter has been a staple of American currency for nearly a century. Now, the 1972 quarter emerged during a period of dynamic change in America, the early 1970s, a time marked by cultural shifts, technological advancements, and significant economic challenges including inflation and the end of the gold standard. Coins minted during this era reflect not only a piece of monetary history but also a snapshot of American society navigating change. The 1972 Washington quarters were minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint quarters of this year typically carry no mint mark, the Denver quarters bear the letter D, and the San Francisco mint quarters proudly display the S. Each mint and mint mark has its own significance and, for collectors, impacts the coin's rarity and value. Though millions of 1972 quarters were produced, making many of them common in circulation, what makes certain examples from this year so valuable are the rarities, mint errors, and especially the mint marks paired with exceptional condition. One of the key elements to watch for is the mint mark itself. The D and S mint marks can drastically influence the value of a coin, especially if the coin exhibits minting errors or comes from a limited run. San Francisco S quarters, for example, were often struck as proof coins designed specifically for collectors, with a higher level of detail and finish than those meant for general circulation. Philadelphia coins from 1972 don't carry a mint mark, which can sometimes make them less valuable on their own, but when combined with other factors, even these coins can become prized collectibles. Now, let's dive deeper into what makes certain 1972 quarters so highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. First, minting errors from this year add a layer of rarity that fuels demand. These errors include double dies, where the coin's date or lettering appears doubled due to a misaligned die strike, off-center strikes, which produce coins with portions of the design missing or shifted, and die cracks, which are tiny raised lines caused by fractures in the die itself. Each of these errors transforms an otherwise ordinary coin into something truly extraordinary. The double die error, for instance, is especially popular among collectors. Imagine holding a 1972 quarter where the year or the word Liberty appears doubled, creating a visual effect that's both intriguing and rare. These errors happen because the coin is struck twice by the minting press, slightly out of alignment, producing a distinct doubling effect that is unmistakable and highly collectible. Off-center strikes can be even more dramatic. When a blank metal planchet isn't properly centered in the coin press, the resulting coin shows an incomplete design on one side with a blank edge visible. The degree of off-centering directly impacts the coin's value. The more severe and the clearer the date, the more prized the coin is among collectors. Another fascinating category of errors involves clipped planchets. These occur when the blank coin metal is punched too close to the edge of the metal strip, resulting in a quarter with a noticeable missing bite along its rim. Such coins are both visually striking and rare, adding a unique element of scarcity. Beyond errors, the condition of the coin is a critical factor that can't be overstated. Coins are graded on a numerical scale from 1 to 70 by professional grading services, where 70 represents a flawless, mint-state coin. While most 1972 quarters in circulation are well-worn and graded lower, the few that have survived in near-perfect condition command premiums that can be truly astounding. Collectors prize coins that retain the sharpness of their original design, with full details of George Washington's profile, clear mint marks, and clean surfaces free of scratches or blemishes. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, especially those graded PR 65 or higher, are a collector's dream. These coins boast mirror-like finishes and incredible detail, distinguishing them from their circulated counterparts. Now, here's the real kicker: the market value. While the average 1972 quarter might still only be worth its face value or a small premium if uncirculated, those rare mint mark variants, especially with mint errors or in pristine condition, can be worth an extraordinary amount. In recent auctions and private sales, some 1972 Washington quarters, especially those with rare doubling errors or off-center strikes combined with superior mint condition, have commanded prices that make headlines. The excitement around these coins has only grown as collectors continue to hunt for these numismatic treasures. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for: if you are lucky enough to possess a 1972 Washington quarter with the right mint mark, exhibiting a notable minting error or proof quality finish, and preserved in near-perfect condition, you could be holding a coin valued at a remarkable $130,000. That's right, $130,000 for a single quarter, a coin that could easily be found in your change jar but is, in reality, a numismatic gem of incredible worth. This just goes to show that the world of coin collecting is filled with surprises and hidden treasures. A small piece of metal can carry with it a wealth of history, rarity, and value that most people overlook. So next time you come across a 1972 Washington quarter, take a closer look. Examine the mint mark, scrutinize the coin's details for any signs of doubling, off-centering, or other errors, and if it shines with the brilliance of a well-preserved coin, consider getting it professionally graded. You might just have stumbled upon one of the most valuable quarters in American history. Today, we're embarking on an in-depth exploration of a coin that many might pass over without a second glance: the United States Washington quarter dollar from 1967, complete with its mint mark. While it may seem like just another coin from the late 1960s, the 1967 Washington quarter holds a remarkable place in the world of numismatics, especially when we dig into its mint marks, varieties, and condition. This coin carries a rich story, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why some of these quarters can be worth an incredible $100,000. First, let's put the 1967 Washington quarter in its historical context. The year 1967 was a time of significant social and economic shifts in the United States. The country was navigating the complexities of the Vietnam War, the civil rights movement was gaining momentum, and the economy was adjusting to post-war realities. Amidst all this, the United States Mint was producing coins that not only facilitated daily commerce but also became tangible pieces of American history. The Washington quarter had been in circulation since 1932. Created initially to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Its design is iconic: a dignified profile of the first president graces the obverse, while the reverse traditionally showcases a powerful eagle. By 1967, the quarter was well established as a symbol of American currency, but there were notable changes taking place behind the scenes that made quarters from this era particularly interesting. One of the most significant things to know about the 1967 quarter is its metal composition. This was during the post-1965 transition when the United States stopped minting quarters from 90% silver. From 1965 onward, quarters were made from a copper-nickel clad composition. This change in material greatly increased the number of quarters produced, which in theory should have made 1967 quarters relatively common. But as we'll discover, certain factors still make some 1967 quarters extraordinarily valuable. Now, let's talk about the mint marks. In 1967, quarters were minted in Philadelphia and Denver. Philadelphia quarters from that year do not have a mint mark, while Denver quarters carry the letter D. Mint marks can be deceptively simple but hold immense importance when it comes to coin value. Why? Because mint marks can point to where a coin was struck and can indicate rarer varieties or minting errors exclusive to a particular mint. Collectors pay close attention to these small letters because sometimes a particular mint can produce fewer coins or be prone to specific minting anomalies that make certain coins incredibly rare. For example, in the case of the 1967 Washington quarter, some Denver D. mint-marked coins have been discovered with minting errors such as double dies or die cracks. A double die error means the coin was struck more than once with a slight shift, creating a doubled image of the date or lettering. Die cracks are imperfections where tiny fractures in the coin's die create raised lines on the coin's surface. Both types of errors are highly collectible because they are unintentional and unique, transforming ordinary quarters into numismatic treasures. Another important factor collectors examine is the condition of the coin. Even with common quarters, condition makes a world of difference. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being flawless and perfect, also known as mint state 70. The vast majority of 1,967 quarters in circulation have been well used and exhibit varying degrees of wear. But every once in a while, coins come to market that have been kept in pristine condition. These are the ones that can command huge prices. There's also a special appeal for proof coins from 1967, which were produced in San Francisco. These proof coins were not intended for circulation, rather, they were made for collectors and feature a polished mirror-like finish with sharp details. These 1967 proof quarters carry an S mint mark and are prized for their beauty and rarity. While proof quarters usually fetch a premium, some specific proof varieties with exceptional strike quality and flawless surfaces are especially coveted. But beyond mint marks, errors, and condition, the story of the 1967 quarters value is shaped by rarity and collector demand. Since so many quarters were produced that year, rarity can be a tricky concept. But when you combine the right mint mark, the presence of an error, and near-perfect condition, the coin becomes a star in the numismatic world. Now, what about the market value? While your average 1967 Washington quarter may still be worth just its face value or a small premium if in uncirculated condition, those rare error coins or high-grade mint mark varieties sell for far more. In recent years, auction houses and private sales have recorded impressive prices for top-condition 1967 quarters, particularly those with notable mint errors or that come directly from the mint in pristine proof condition. And here's the jaw-dropping part: if you are fortunate enough to own a 1967 Washington quarter with the right mint mark, exceptional condition, and a rare minting error or proof finish, you could have a coin valued at an astonishing $100,000. That's right, $100,000 for a single quarter. A coin that might still be hiding in someone's coin collection, forgotten in a drawer, but truly a numismatic gem. This coin is a powerful reminder that even the most everyday objects can hide incredible value and stories, just waiting to be uncovered by those who look closely. So next time you find a 1967 Washington quarter, take a moment to examine it carefully. Look for the mint mark, inspect the date and lettering for signs of doubling or cracking, and consider having it professionally graded. You might just have a rare treasure on your hands. Today, we're focusing on a coin that you might see every day, yet it holds a hidden treasure within its metal, the United States Washington quarter dollar from 1978, complete with its mint mark. This coin is not just pocket change, it's a slice of American history and, for some lucky collectors, a potential goldmine. By the time we finish this video, you'll understand why certain 1978 Washington quarters can be worth an astonishing $170,000. Let's start by stepping back into the late 1970s. America was going through a dynamic period marked by rapid social changes, economic challenges like inflation, and cultural shifts. The U.S. Mint was keeping pace with these changes, producing billions of quarters every year. The Washington quarter, a coin first minted in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, had long been a staple of everyday currency. By 1978, the design was well established. The obverse featured a proud and stoic profile of George Washington, and the reverse depicted the majestic eagle, a symbol of freedom and strength. Despite the coin's ubiquity in daily commerce, the 1978 quarter holds a special place in numismatic circles. Why? It all boils down to the mint mark, production details, and, most importantly, minting anomalies and coin condition. These factors can turn an ordinary quarter into an extraordinary collectible. The 1978 Washington quarter was struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint leaves its distinct mark, a letter that tells the story of where the coin was made. Philadelphia coins of this year typically bear no mint mark, Denver coins have the letter D, and San Francisco coins display an S. But the story doesn't end with just the mint mark. Philadelphia quarters without a mint mark make up the bulk of production, and while many of these coins circulated heavily, some were preserved in mint condition or as special collector's editions. Denver D mint quarters are also widespread, but again, condition and any errors make a huge difference in value. San Francisco's S mint quarters, however, were primarily minted as proofs, which were specially struck for collectors with superior detail and a mirror-like finish. Collectors are often on the lookout for specific varieties and errors from these mints, and 1978 quarters are no exception. Among the most fascinating anomalies are double dies, where the design elements, often the date or lettering, appear doubled due to a misalignment in the minting dies. This doubling effect can be subtle or dramatic and is highly sought after because it represents a tangible mistake that the mint never intended to make, turning the coin into a limited edition rarity. Another compelling error to watch for is the off-center strike. This occurs when a blank metal planchet is not properly aligned in the coining press, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted off the center of the coin. The degree of off-centering can vary widely, and coins with severe off-center strikes can command substantial premiums in the market. Additionally, die cracks and clipped planchets from 1978 add to the coin's allure. Die cracks appear as raised lines or cracks on the coin's surface, resulting from fractures in the minting die. Clipped planchets occur when the blank metal piece is improperly cut, leaving the coin with a distinctive bite or missing edge. Both errors provide a unique fingerprint of the minting process and instantly make a quarter more valuable. The condition of the coin cannot be overstated. Numismatists use a grading scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a flawless coin, often called mint state 70. Most 1978 quarters found today show some wear, as they circulated in pockets, registers, and coin jars for decades. But when a quarter has been stored carefully, perhaps tucked away in a collection or kept as a proof coin, it can retain its luster, sharp details, and smooth edges. These pristine examples are the real treasures. Proof coins from San Francisco with an S mint mark, especially those graded PR 65 or higher, display a stunning mirror finish and intricate details that make them stand out. These coins were not meant for general circulation but rather were produced for collectors who appreciated fine craftsmanship. Over time, well-preserved proof quarters become highly desirable, especially when combined with minting errors. Now, you might wonder about the market value. While most 1978 quarters are worth their face value or a small premium if uncirculated, rare mint mark varieties, mint errors, and especially high-grade proof coins are a different story altogether. Coin auctions and private sales in recent years have revealed the true worth of these special quarters. The real showstopper is this: if you happen to own a 1978 Washington quarter with the right mint mark, possibly an error like a double die or off-center strike, and preserved in near-perfect condition, you could have a coin worth an eye-popping $170,000, yes, $170,000 for a single quarter. That's more than many people spend on an entire coin collection, encapsulated in one small piece of metal that might still be lying in your change jar or a forgotten coin album. This incredible value illustrates how even the most common coins can hide astonishing rarities. It's a thrilling reminder that every coin carries a story, and sometimes, a fortune. So next time you hold a 1978 Washington quarter, take a closer look. Check for the mint mark, search for any unusual doubling or misalignment in the design, and consider having it professionally graded. It might just be one of the rarest and most valuable quarters in American history. Today we're diving deep into a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance but hides a world of intrigue and value, the United States Washington quarter dollar from 1979, complete with its mint mark. This isn't just pocket change, it's a fascinating piece of American history and, for some fortunate collectors, a potentially life-changing treasure. By the time we wrap up this video, you'll discover why certain 1979 Washington quarters are so highly prized and can fetch an astonishing $70,000. Let's begin by painting the backdrop for 1979 America. This was a year of economic challenges, from inflation to energy crises, but also a time of cultural vibrancy and technological innovation. Amid these sweeping changes, the United States Mint continued producing coins that had been a staple for decades: the Washington quarter, a coin first introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. By 1979, the quarter's design was well known. The obverse proudly displays Washington's profile, a symbol of leadership and legacy, while the reverse showcases the powerful eagle clutching arrows and olive branches, emblematic of strength and peace. Though the quarter was widely used in everyday transactions, the 1979 quarter carries subtle details that make it a fascinating subject for collectors. Key to this is the mint mark, a small but powerful letter that indicates the mint of origin. The 1979 quarters were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins bear no mint mark, Denver coins display a D, and San Francisco coins, which were primarily proofs, carry an S. At first glance, this might seem straightforward, but the mint mark is just the beginning of what can make a 1979 quarter truly special. Beyond mint marks, numismatists, coin collectors and experts pay close attention to subtle variations, minting errors, and the condition of the coin. These factors can elevate a seemingly common coin into a rare collectible that commands serious money. One of the most exciting aspects for collectors is minting errors. For the 1979 Washington quarter, some of the most notable include double dies and die cracks. A double die error occurs when the coin's design is impressed twice by the minting press, slightly offset, creating a doubled image, especially visible on the date or lettering. This error is a kind of numismatic smoking gun, a sign of the minting process's unpredictability, and collectors prize these coins highly because they are unique mistakes. Die cracks, on the other hand, result from tiny fractures in the die used to strike the coins, producing raised lines or imperfections on the coin surface. While die cracks might sound like damage, they actually add to the coin's story and rarity. Coins exhibiting these cracks are often sought after because they provide a snapshot of the mint's equipment wear during that year. Another fascinating error to look out for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is misaligned in the press, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. The severity of off-centering can range from slight to extreme, with more dramatic examples significantly boosting a coin's value. The condition of the coin is arguably the most crucial factor affecting its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect, flawless specimen, sometimes called mint state 70. The majority of 1979 quarters found today show signs of circulation, with worn edges and softened details. But occasionally, a coin emerges that looks as fresh as the day it left the mint, preserved by careful storage or luck. Proof coins from 1979, produced at the San Francisco Mint and bearing the S mint mark, are especially prized. These coins were struck with polished dies and planchets, resulting in a brilliant, mirror-like finish and exquisite detail. Proof quarters were never meant for circulation, they were produced specifically for collectors, often sold in special sets. High-grade proofs, especially those with rare varieties or errors, are incredibly valuable. Now, what about the market value? While the average 1979 Washington quarter might just be worth its face value or a slight premium if uncirculated, those special mint mark varieties, errors, or high-grade proofs paint a different picture entirely. Auction houses and private sales in recent years have demonstrated that rare and well-preserved 1979 quarters can bring impressive sums. The ultimate highlight, if you own a 1979 Washington quarter with the right mint mark, particularly a Denver or San Francisco strike, combined with an error like a double die or off-center strike, and the coin is in near-perfect condition, you could be holding a coin valued at an incredible $70,000. That's right, $70,000 for a single quarter. A coin small enough to fit in your pocket but worth more than many larger collectibles and even entire collections. This just goes to show how much hidden potential exists in everyday objects and the thrill of numismatics, where careful observation and knowledge can unlock treasures from the past. So next time you find a 1979 Washington quarter, take a moment to examine it closely. Look for the mint mark, search for any signs of doubling, cracking, or off-centering, and if it looks sharp and well-preserved, consider getting it professionally graded. You never know, you might have a rare gem in your hands. Thanks so much for joining me on this detailed exploration of the 1979 Washington quarter dollar. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more fascinating coin content, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. I love hearing your stories and questions, so drop a comment below and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep collecting, keep curious, and keep your eyes peeled. You never know when a coin could change your life. Happy collecting!